Welcome to my video blog homework assignment for our English class about the ending of the book J.B. by Archibald MacLeish. Our homework assignment was to read the last scenes, the conclusion of the play, and do a video blog about it to show our opinions and everything. Well, in my opinion, as soon as I finished the book, I was a little surprised. The play is really interesting. It's based on the story Job by the Bible, the book of Job, but I think that they changed some of the names, but still refers to the Bible itself. In scene 10, the last two scenes were the scenes that were really most interesting in the ending. When in the scene 10, I remember in scene 10, when Nichols acknowledges that Sus has lost the bet, that Mr. Sus, which is God, has lost the bet, Sus is still uneasy with his victory. Sus wants to give everything back to Joe, but Joe does not want to risk it. So Nichols goes and warns Joe about to kill himself because Sus is going to return everything, but it's gonna cost him, I think. And I wrote some interesting post-its also. Yeah, but at the end, Joe does not kill himself, and that's the end of that scene. That scene left me really surprised because it was really interesting to see how things unwrap at the end. It was really interesting, and the final scene, scene 11, was also very interesting for me because in that scene, Sarah, the wife of Joe, was going to the river. Yeah, she was going to the river to drown herself or something. Yeah, but she found a flower of some sort, a branch of flowers, and that already bloomed, and she found hope on it. But then at the end she says she says a comment that is very atheist, from an atheist's point of view, and it is in quote: "You wanted justice, and there was none, only love. People will not find illumination or love from God, but in their own hearts." That shows me that shows all of us that at the end Sarah ends up really atheist and giving up on God because God did some foul things on the family, and I think that left me thinking that maybe Job also lost his faith and becomes an atheist at the end. But I'm not so sure what was the perception that he had about it. But that shows us that maybe the author Archibald MacLeish was some sort of had atheist point of views, because he maybe thinks that God is not so fair, but in some sort of ways for Archibald MacLeish he thinks that God is not so fair, showing it in his story. And because in the story God does many bad things to the family, and maybe Archibald MacLeish wrote about that way because, and put all of those atheist quotes and stuff, because maybe he has some sort of atheist point of views, or maybe he's a really religious person and he's just sharing some of his thoughts and ideas. I don't know, but I really enjoyed the book. It was a really good book. The end left me quite surprised. I wasn't expecting something like that, but it was really interesting. The play was really good. I would have liked to see it on action, in theater. That would be awesome. But like, yeah, I like the book, and it has different point of views. Like Joe is like really religious, and like Sarah is like not like she lost like faith in God, and like at the end maybe Joe was starting to lose it a little bit as well. But I also remember that in scene 10, Mr. Sus, or God, hashtag no, parenthesis, God is, it loses all enthusiasm for playing his role as God. So he like starts like abandoning like the setting, but then like Nichols reminds him that they still have to play like the end of the book, which was like really interesting to see how those things develop and like unwrap in the story. It was really good because he was like giving up, and like giving up on everything and just like leaving. But then Nichols said like, wait, there's one more scene, and he decided to stay. And yeah, and that's actually it. That's like quite the ending. Spoiler alert to anybody who doesn't, well, that's a little bit too late for spoiler alert, but still spoiler alert to anyone who has not read the ending, because like the ending left me really surprised, because like Sarah ends up with like a really atheist view and tries to like convince Joe, maybe because Joe is like a really religious person, and like tries to convince him, but we don't know what happened to him. Like we don't know what happened to his like religious views. But yeah, Sarah has like really some really strong atheist views. Like the quote that I said, she believes that um she believes that uh, uh, people will not find illumination or love from God, but in their own hearts. She believes that like God does not help you in that way, and like for her like he doesn't exist or something. Like really atheist point of view, and like for me, I I I I respect as atheist people because it's like their point of view, and I respect their ideas and their opinions. I don't have nothing against them. Um, yeah, but she ends up like with a really atheist view at the end of the story, like in the last scene, and tries to convince Joe, because Joe was really religious through the whole play. In my opinion, I really liked the whole book. It was really interesting. The play was really good, although I didn't like it so much that it was written in verse. I don't know if you understand what verse means. Verse means like, for example, I don't know if you can see very well. It's like when the sentence like there's no like period at the end, but the sentence just like continues, and like it's like kind of difficult, more difficult to read. But yeah, still, above all of that, I really enjoyed the story. It was awesome. Yeah. So thank you all for watching my video vlog about the book JB, about the play JB actually. So thank you all for watching, and have a good day.